Good evening, excellent biology students. Hope you're doing fine, and I hope a wonderful day. So please let me know if I am audible enough. Let me know if I am audible enough before we begin with our live class. Good evening, Kashena. Let me read that again. Kashena Mwemba, Elina, Sophia, Memory, Mwaka, Lydia, Precious, Brit Nancy, Ellen, Memory is saying network is bad. Yeah, I don't know why. These past few days, network has been tripping. I hope network will stabilize. I hope this live class will be smooth because we were supposed to have a live class on Friday, but now I have evening classes, so even the program will change. I will have to change the day for the live class so that we won't be inconvenienced. Yeah, so otherwise, I hope we are doing fine, and I hope you had a wonderful Sunday. My Sunday has been interesting. It is still interesting, but it was okay. It was okay. How many went to church? How many of us went for church today? Did you go to church? Did you go to church? If you went to church, raise up your hand. How many of you went to church? Was more end of church? Did you go for church? Evans went for church. Natasha went for church. Wonderful, wonderful. What's this name? Hesed. I hope I've pronounced the name correctly. Ellen went for church. Wonderful. That's good. It's important that you attend church. Don't miss church. Okay, so this is the first live class for this group. This is the new intake. So this is my first live class with you. Okay, and yeah, every week I go live, so you have to make sure that you spare your time for the live classes. So on these live classes, what I do basically is just go through the assignments that I send in the group. So I'm yet to give feedback, but it's important to go through the questions that you receive so that you can have a good understanding. Okay. Yeah, so that's the purpose of this live class. At the end of this live class, I'll also mention some books that you need to have as a student, because as a student you need materials. Materials are like weapons. When you look at materials, take them to be like weapons. I had a friend in school. He used to call his books diamonds. They were not books to him. So if he's buying a book, a textbook or a notebook, he will say, I'm going to buy diamond. So I used to be confused. What do you mean you're going to buy diamond? Until he explained to me to say, oh, actually, when I say diamond, I mean books. I'm going to buy books. So treat your books like diamond, because they will help you. Materials will help you. If you do not have materials, you are lacking. Trust me. And we are preparing for war. Trust me, we're preparing for war. So if you do not have materials, you are lacking already. You are lacking. You need to have materials. I'll talk about that later on. Otherwise, I do understand that network is bad for some of us. So if network is that bad, you can, don't worry. This live class, as I am live right now, it's been recorded, so I will be able to send this same live class afterwards. Okay, afterwards. Memory, I can't see you, sir. We have no power, memory. We have no power here. But on the next live class, trust me, you will see me. You will see me. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, we're going to look at assignment 1 and assignment 2. Are we ready? Should I begin? Can I start? Someone to give me a go ahead. Don't say only 20 are watching. Should I start? Eden, we all can't see him. No, you will see me. Yeah, next. Muzaka niona. Muzaka niona ya next. Don't worry. Okay. I've been told that I should start. I love talking. I love talking. So sometimes I even get carried away. Ngokamba chape. So let us begin, my excellent students. Okay. Let us begin. Okay, wonderful. So I hope you can see. I hope you can see. So make sure that as you are watching, you're watching per landscape. Your phone should be in landscape mode, not portrait. Okay, but landscape mode, and then increase the quality of the video as you are watching. Make sure that it's on landscape mode, and then increase the quality of the video. Okay. Evans, what have you seen? What have you seen, Evans? My camera is off. So is everything clear on your end? Are you able to see? Are you able to see the diagram that we have? By the way, my excellent students, this question came in 2025. This question, 2025, this year. If there's someone who wrote 2025 biology this year, this was the first question. You see, all the questions that you will be receiving in my group, they're coming from past papers. This question came in 2025. 2025. So if you've got past papers, you are safe. You are safe. You are safe. So yeah, I hope we are able to see. Question 1 reads, Figure 1 shows a palisade cell observed under a light microscope. Figure 1 shows a palisade cell observed under a light microscope. So this is the figure that we have. We've got a plant cell. We've got parts there labeled A, B, C. And then if we look on the left side, we've got the cell membrane, we've got the nucleus, and we've got the cytoplasm. Question A is saying, identify the parts labeled A, B, and C in figure 1. Identify the parts labeled A, B, and C in figure 1. What is A? What is B? And what is C? Apamanje, this is now the time where I want to see students participating. I want to see your answers. What is A? What is B? And what is C? By the way, C is pointing at the circle inside the cell. That round circle, yeah? So don't get confused. Don't get confused, my excellent students. Don't get confused. What is A? So we've got answers. Okay. Peter. A, cell wall. Okay. What is Peter saying? A is the cell wall. Okay. Memory. A, cell wall. Natasha. B, vacuole. Okay. Excellent. Abigail. B, vacuole. Evans. A, cell wall. Precious. What is Precious saying? Precious. B, vacuole. Peter, what is Peter saying? B is the vacuole. Robert watipasa vonse at the same time. A, cell wall. B, vacuole. C, chloroplast. Okay. Sophia. Sophia is saying go ahead. Lydia. B, vacuole. Memory. C, chloroplast. Lydia. C, chloroplast. Peter. C is the chloroplast. Wonderful. Deborah. What is Deborah saying? C, A, cell wall. And then B, vacuole. Okay. Sophia, you are invisible, sir. Yes. But you don't have to see me. You have to see the question. Okay, Mary, what is Mary saying? Mary is saying B, vacuole. Wonderful. All the answers that you've given me, my excellent students, are correct. Yeah, that's true. A is simply the cell wall. B, that's the vacuole. Okay. And then C, that's the chloroplast. We've identified the parts labeled A, B, and C in the question, in figure 1, I mean. Okay. Question B reads, explain the functions of the part labeled A in figure 1. Explain the functions of the part labeled A in figure 1. So A, we've identified it to be the cell wall. Now the question is, what is the function of the cell wall, my excellent students? I want to see answers. Okay, we've got an answer from Peter. What is Peter telling me? Cell wall, which is A, it allows all substances in and out of the cell. Wow. No, you know what? There are some answers which are not common, and this is one of them. There are some answers which are not common. They are true, but they are just not common. And this is one of those answers. It allows all substances in and out of the cell. Beautiful answer, Peter. That is actually correct. What is Sophia saying? What is Sophia saying? Oh, I saw it, sir. It's true. What did you see, Sophia? What did you see? Abigail, what is Abigail saying? It protects the plant cell. Excellent, excellent. Okay, it protects the plant cell. Who else? Who else is giving me an answer? Memory. What is memory saying? It protects the cell from any damage. Okay, protects the cell from any damage. Excellent, excellent. Robert protects the cell from bursting and maintains the cell's structure. This is another answer which is not common. Bursting, it protects the cell from bursting. Very correct. Most of us, we usually say, the cell wall protects the cell from physical damage, which is true. And, Mr. Robert here has actually emphasized to say, the cell wall also protects the cell from bursting, of which we're going to learn about this, what he means this coming week, because we'll be looking at osmosis, diffusion, and active transport. And under osmosis, we're going to learn about cell turgidity. Cell turgidity. Okay, so you understand that later on. Otherwise, this answer is correct. Cell wall protects the cell from bursting and maintains its cell structure. Natasha, what is Natasha telling me this evening? The cell wall gives protection against damage and prevents it from bursting when the plant cell gains a lot of. Wow. This is beautiful. I like seeing such answers. If you're giving ECZ such answers, they will be smiling as they are marking your paper. Your English is on point. Your spellings are on point. Everything is inter. Are you telling me ECZ will be upset? No, 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 no. This is beautiful. Well put together. I like it. A cell wall. The cell wall gives protection against damage and prevents it from bursting when the plant cell gains a lot of water. Okay, we've got another one from Hesed. What is Hesed? I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Hesed, to give shape to the cell. That is actually very true. And the shape is fixed, by the way. The shape is fixed. Deborah in the Biu. What is Deborah saying? It protects the cell from the external environment. That is also true. So if you look at all the comments that you're giving me, one thing that is common is that protection is provided. The cell wall protects the cell from damage. Just like how your house encloses you, okay, the house that you are in right now, if at all you're at home, of which you should be at home because it's late, as you're at home right now, the walls of your house are protecting you. They're protecting everything inside. Protecting everything inside from what? From whatever can, like for example, thieves. You are being protected by your house. You're being protected by the wall from thieves. So the wall is giving you protection from hotness. When it's too hot, the house will provide you with shade. When it's raining, you'll be protected. You won't be wet. Why? Because there's that wall. Are you following? That's the same function even with the cell wall. It gives protection to what is inside the cell. Okay. All right, Evans. Cell wall protect the cell from damage and gives shape to the plant. Excellent, excellent. We've got another one from Mwaka. Function of labeled part A is to protect the inner parts of the cell and maintains the shape of the cell. Excellent, excellent. Precious, what is Precious saying? It protects the cell from mechanical damage and maintains cell turgidity. Wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Okay, so yeah, that's the answer for question B. The cell wall actually gives protection to the cell. Question C. Give two differences between the cell in figure 1 and the one found in the human trachea. Now, don't be confused here. The cell found in the human trachea is simply an animal cell. So you need to state or give two differences between a plant cell, which is in this figure, and an animal cell, which is a cell in the human trachea. So give me two differences, my excellent students. What are the differences between a plant cell and an animal cell? Mhm. What are the differences between a plant cell and an animal cell? I hope everything is clear on your end. If at all you are facing any challenges, please let me know. Okay, let me know. Let me know. Okay, Evans plant cell has a cell wall and chloroplast. Chloroplast makes its own. Okay, I think you can reconstruct your sentence there, Evans. Okay, we've got another one from Natasha. What is Natasha saying? A plant cell contains chloroplast while the animal cell does not. Okay, so yes, as you are stating your differences, my excellent students, ensure that you put a while. Okay, while. Don't just say this and then you don't put a while. For example, what are the differences between a house and a car? You say, oh, a house has got rooms. That's all. No, you should say, oh, a house has got rooms while a car does not have rooms. Okay, there must be a while as you are stating the differences. Abigail, what is Abigail telling me? A plant cell has a shape while an animal cell doesn't have a shape. So there, just put fixed, okay? Fixed, Abigail, okay? A plant cell has a fixed shape while an animal cell doesn't have a fixed shape. Then your answer will be complete, okay? So a plant cell, if you want, you can also say a plant cell has got a regular shape. By regular, that simply means the shape does not change. It is just the same. It is fixed. And then an animal cell has got an irregular shape, meaning the shape changes. It's irregular. The shape changes. Otherwise, you are correct. Mary, what is Mary saying? What is Mary saying? A plant cell has a wall, so you have to now be specific. What wall are you talking about? Okay, so a plant cell has got a wall, while an animal cell does not have. So I think you meant cell wall there. Okay, I think you meant cell wall there, maybe. Okay, wonderful. He said the cell in figure 1 has a fixed shape, while the cell in the human trachea doesn't have a fixed shape. I like the fact that you've actually specified to say, oh, the cell in figure 1 has this, while the cell in the human, that's you being specific. I like that. I like that. Okay, I like that. And then who else? Let's see. Oh, Jesse, what is Jesse saying? A plant cell has a cell wall while an animal cell doesn't have. That is actually true. Deborah, what is Deborah saying? A plant cell has large permanent vacuole while the animal cell does not have a large permanent vacuole. That is also true. Piro, what is Piro saying? A plant cell has a cell wall and cell membrane, while an animal cell only has a cell membrane, and the plant cell has a chloroplast one, while an animal cell doesn't have. But pass that to you, Mr. Peter, which is excellent. Mr. Robert, plant cell has a regular shape, while an animal cell doesn't, and plant cell contains chloroplast, while an animal cell doesn't. Yeah, those are all correct. I am seeing a lot of answers. This is wonderful. I like the fact that we are all participating in this live class. Let's continue. Let's continue, my excellent students. Okay. All right. Let me display this one. The plant cell has a regular shape while animal cell has an irregular shape. So by regular, that simply means imachinja. I mean simachinja. That's regular. Simachinja. Okay, regular. So a plant cell has got a regular shape. It does not change. The shape does not change. It's fixed. But an animal cell has got an irregular shape, meaning the shape changes. Imachinja shape. Imachinja. All right, my excellent biology students. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, okay. Let me look at this other one. A plant cell has a cell wall while an animal cell doesn't have. Okay, that is also true. So one thing that I'm doing here, my excellent students, if you're paying attention, is that I am using repetition method. I am reading the answers over and over again, even if I know they are the same. Why am I doing that? So that it sticks in your head. Repetition method is vital. Some of us we say, but in I forget. And you even think maybe somewhere wanapanda or what, vakubanja, something like that. Oh, no. You need to use repetition method. When you do something over and over again, it sticks. Vimankala mumutu, vizankala mumutu mo. You're not broken in your head. You're okay. You are okay. Sometimes you just need to repeat. So as we are repeating, as we are doing something over and over again, it will be so hard for you to forget. Trust me, it will be so hard for you to forget. Oh, a plant cell has got a fixed shape, while an animal cell doesn't have a fixed shape. Oh, a plant cell has got chloroplast, while an animal cell doesn't have chloroplast. If you continue repeating, trust me, it will stick in your head. Trust me. Trust me. All right, then let's move on to question D. State the names of any other two organelles that would be seen if the cell in figure 1 was observed under an electron microscope. State the names of any other two organelles that would be seen if the cell in figure 1 was observed under an electron microscope. So if this cell was observed under an electron microscope can show you the detailed structure of a cell. So if this cell was observed under an electron microscope, what two organelles would we see? What two organelles would we see? Evans, the fastest one to answer. I like that. Ribosomes and Golgi, or I think you meant Golgi bodies or Golgi apparatus. So Golgi bodies, they are also known as Golgi apparatus. Ribosomes and Golgi bodies or Golgi apparatus. Excellent. What else? What else? What two organelles would you see? What two organelles would you see? Natasha, what is Natasha saying? Mitochondria, Golgi apparatus. Excellent. Wonderful. Beautiful. Beautiful answer there, Natasha. Robert, what is Robert saying? Mitochondria and Golgi bodies. Excellent. Beautiful answer. Wonderful job. Okay, we've got another one there from Mwaka. What is Mwaka saying? Mitochondria and ribosomes. Excellent. Excellent. He said mitochondria and ribosomes. Memory, mitochondria. Excellent. Monday, ribosomes. Excellent. Helen, ribosomes and mitochondria. Piro, what is Peter saying? Mitochondria and endoplasmic reticulum. Okay. Peter has seen that vambiri wakamba ribosomes na chance first nikambapo yanga na ine wakambapo endoplasmic reticulum. Excellent. Deborah, what is Deborah saying? Mitochondria, ribosomes. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Nisi, what is Nisi saying? Mitochondria. Wonderful, excellent, excellent, excellent. Your answers are correct, my excellent students. Let me display one more. Precious, what is Precious saying? Mitochondria. Wonderful, wonderful. So yes, the two other organelles that we'll see if this cell is observed under an electron microscope are the mitochondria. We've got the the Golgi bodies. We've got the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, the rough endoplasmic reticulum. We've got I've already said mitochondria, ribosomes. Those are the parts that we are going to see if this plant cell was observed under an electron microscope. So those were the answers for the first assignment, which is assignment 1. If Peter Chongo, Peter, my guy, I miss you. How are you? This is my guy. My students, this is Peter Chongo, my guy. So, excellent students, those were the answers for the first assignment. Okay, those were the answers for assignment 1. This question was question 1 in 2025. This was question 1 in 2025. We can move on to assignment 2 now, right? Someone to give me a go ahead. We can move on to assignment 2. Can we move on to assignment 2? Can we move on to assignment 2? Sophia, go ahead, sir. All right. So I hope network is still not a problem. Hope everything is working nicely on your end. So assignment 2 had 2 answers. Peter, you should pass by. Yes, you should pass by tomorrow. Okay, no pressure, no pressure. Should pass by tomorrow, Peter. Okay, so we've got this question. Figure 1 shows two spelling ya two imwe supposed to be TWO there. So figure 1 shows 2 generalized cells F and G of living organisms. So we've got 2 cells here, cell F and cell G. Those are the 2 cells that we have, cell F and cell G. This is our figure 1.1. Okay. And then question A reads, identify the parts labeled H. Identify the part labeled H. What is H, my excellent students? Haha, Sophia is the first one to answer this one. So H, cell membrane. Excellent, excellent. What are others saying? What is H? We've got another one there from Helen, cell membrane. Excellent, excellent. Natasha, H is a cell membrane. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, we've got Hesed, H is cell membrane. Okay, Evans, HA is cell membrane. Okay, okay. We've got another one there from Po Chongo, part H, cell membrane. Excellent. Precious, what is Precious saying? Cell membrane. Caroline Zulu, cell membrane. Okay, nice one, nice one, nice one. Have I highlighted for Natasha? Natasha, cell membrane. Who else? Robert, cell membrane. Got another one from Esther. What is Esther saying? H, cell membrane. And then Jesse, cell membrane. So let me also say this, my students. As you are answering, you should be specific. So in this case, they said identify the part labeled H, right? So you should even write H, cell membrane. Don't just say cell membrane, but you should also indicate the part, because here there is I, there is J, there is H. So you have to say H, cell membrane. Very important. Very important. Okay. Question B. How does part H differ from I? How does part H differ from I? Let's first identify I. What is I? What is I? Joyce Margaret, H, cell membrane. Okay. What is I? I just want even one person to give me the answer for part I, and then we can move on. What is I? Okay, we've got an answer from Natasha. Let me read it. H allows what enters and leaves the cell, while the cell wall gives protection against physical damage. Okay, that's okay. So I is the cell wall. Okay, I is the cell wall. I is the cell wall. Now here there's a question, my excellent students. How does part H, which is the cell membrane, differ from part I? We've got one answer from Natasha. Natasha said that H allows what enters and leaves the cell, while the cell wall gives protection against damage, which is okay. What do others say? What do others say? Memory. Memory is saying that H is selectively permeable while I is fully permeable. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay. Mwaka, what is Mwaka saying? H is cell membrane, controls all substances entering and leaving the cell, while I is the cell wall, which maintains the shape of the cell. That is true. That is true. Okay, we've got Pochongo. I is fully permeable to all substances that enter and leave the cell, while H is selectively permeable to substances that enter and leave the cell. That is excellent. Oh, that is very true. That is very true. And then there's another one there from Precious. H, it allows some substances to pass through and it prevents others from passing. And then there should be a while, okay? Because we're differentiating. So ensure that you put a while, like I said earlier. So whenever you're writing differences, my excellent students, make sure that there's a while. So this, while this. Okay. One more, then we can continue. H, H selects what goes in and out of the cell, while I protects the cell against damage. Okay. Then H said but H doesn't protect the cell from damage, why, yeah, while part I protects the cell from damage. Actually, the cell membrane also gives protection to the animal cell. Okay. It also gives protection to the animal cell there. I said. All right, so I can take the answers that you've mentioned. So to conclude with this question, which is question B, the cell membrane is selectively permeable. Permeable simply means something can pass through it. If something is permeable, that simply means it can allow something to pass through it. Are we following? When something is permeable, it simply means it can allow things to pass through it. But if we say it is selectively permeable, that simply means it allows some substances to pass through. It selects. Not everything can pass through. It will be selective. That's what it means when they say selectively permeable. Okay? I'll repeat. Permeable means something can pass through it. And then if they say selectively, it simply means it will allow the things that will pass through it. And then if we say fully permeable, that simply means anything can pass through it. I'll give an example. We can say um, a place which has got no gate will allow anything to pass to enter that. Or if you have a yard and there's no gate, right? Then anything can pass through. Anything can pass through. But the door to the house does not allow anything to pass through. As long as something is bigger than the size of the door, it won't be able to pass through the door, meaning the door is selective. Only the things that are smaller than the size of the door will be able to pass through the door. Are you following? So it is the same even with the cell membrane. It is selective. Not everything will be able to pass through it. Only those that are small in terms of molecules, only small molecules will be able to pass through it. But for the cell wall, anything can pass through it. Anything can pass through it. It is fully permeable. I hope we understand. Question C. Explain the function of the structure labeled J. Explain the function of the structure labeled J. So what is J? What is J? What is J? Part J, which is the vacuole, supports the cell turgidity. Okay. Vacuole is a storage of nutrients, water, and waste products. Okay. Peter is complaining that the network is bad. Okay, I understand, Peter. Don't worry. This video is being recorded as I am live, so I'll be able to share the link once I'm done. Structure J is the cell vacuole. Let me just look at it. Mark is saying structure J is the cell vacuole. They are found in the plants, but very less in animal cells. Yeah, they are actually very small. They contain cell sap, which is the mixture of sugars, salt, and water. They store food. That is very true. That is very, very true. So what's the function of structure J? What's the function of structure J? We've got one answer there. Robert, J is a vacuole, which is a storage of food. Okay. All right. So to just answer this question, oh, there's another answer. Let me just highlight this one and then I'll give you my answer. So Natasha is saying that structure J plays a role in the movement of water into and out of the cell. Okay, that is actually very true. Yeah, structure J plays a vital role in the movement of water in and out of the cell because it contains a fluid known as cell sap. Now, this fluid is a solution, and this solution controls how water moves in and out of the cell. Okay, we're going to learn about movement of water under osmosis this week because we're looking at osmosis, diffusion, and active transport. Actually, tonight I'll send a video on diffusion, and then tomorrow osmosis, then Tuesday active transport. So tonight you're going to receive a tutorial video under diffusion. Otherwise, water moves by the process of osmosis, and this water, the way it moves inside the cell and out of the cell, that is as a result of the solution which is contained inside the vacuole, which is cell sap. So we can say it contains cell sap, which regulates the movement of water. That's the answer for question C. Then question D, which group of living organisms does cell F belong? Which group of living organisms does cell F belong? Animal. Okay. Memory, animal. Evans, animal. Sophia, animal. Robert, okay. Wonderful. Animal. So yes, cell F belongs to animals. Let's move on to the final part of this question, which was in assignment 2. So we've got a figure which is showing the cell organization levels in multicellular organisms. So multicellular organisms, my excellent students, these are just organisms that are made up of more than one cell. So if they ask you what are multicellular organisms, they are simply organisms that are made up of more than one cell. You are a multicellular organism. Okay. So question I is asking, identify the parts labeled K and M. What is K and what is M? What is K and what is M? Evans K cell, okay. Sophia saying that M organs and K cells, okay. Monday, M organs and K tissue, okay. Though on K, Monday, you have to try again. So let me see. Mr. Robert, K cells, M organ, okay. Helen, K is cell, and then M is organs. Natasha, K cells, M organs. Memory, K cells, M organs. Okay, so Sophia is having network issues, unfortunately. All right. So if you're having any network issues, like I said, this live class is being recorded, so I'll be able to share the link afterwards. Otherwise, yes, K is actually cells, then M organs. So a group of organelles will come together to form cells. Examples of organelles, we've got a nucleus, cell membrane, cytoplasm. These organelles will come together and then they'll form up a cell, which is K. And then group of tissues will come together to form an organ. So M, that's organ, made up of tissues. All organs are made up of tissues. And then question 2, state the level of cell organization at which muscles would be found. State the level of cell organization at which muscles would be found. Where are we going to find the muscles when you look at this cell organization level? Where? Okay, so we've got Evans Hussein tissues, Robert M, which is organs, Monde tissues, muscles would be found in tissues. Okay, Helen tissues, Joyce Margaret tissues. Okay, one more. One more, just one more. Where would we find muscles when you look at this cell organization level? So we've got organelles, cells, tissues, M, which is organs, systems, organization. Mary, I wrote organs. Okay, tissues. Okay, so actually muscles are tissues. So we'd find them at the level of tissues, not organs, but tissues. Okay, muscle tissues. I'm sure you've heard of that. Muscle tissues. So that's why we're going to find muscles at the level of tissues. Okay. The last question, give one example of a system in plants and in animals. An example of a system in plants and in animals. So a system is made up of organs. We can talk of the endocrine system, where we're going to find, find the glands, we're going to find blood. So a system is made up of organs. Okay, so they're asking us to state a system that we're going to find in plants as well as in animals. So for plants, root system, okay, and then in animals, digestive system. Excellent, excellent. Monde, respiratory system. So you have to now state one for plants and another one for animals. So you have to even say, okay, plants, this is the system we're going to find. Then animals, this is the system we're going to find. The way Evans has done it. Okay. Natasha, in animals, digestive system, okay? And then in plants, what are we going to find? So as you're answering, make sure that you state, oh, in animals, we're going to find this system. In plants, this system. Okay. Helen, nervous system in animals, root system in plants. Okay. One more. Okay. Plants excretory system, while animals reproductive system. Excellent, excellent. For most people, they don't know that plants also have an excretory system. We'll talk about that, we'll learn about that later on. Otherwise, those are the answers to this question. Let me just display one more. Animal digestive, plant respiratory system. Excellent. Natasha, what is Natasha saying? In plants, I think, I'm not sure. Okay. So in plants, Natasha, we've got the vascular system, which is also known as a transport system. We've got the excretory system. We also have the reproductive system. In animals, we've got the nervous system, we've got the endocrine system, we've got the respiratory system, we've got the skeletal system, we've got the digestive system. So there are a lot of systems that you can actually mention. All right, my excellent students. So these were the answers to these assignments, assignment 1 and assignment 2. This week, we're looking at osmosis, diffusion, and active transport. So it's a continuation. You will even notice that, oh, these things are now following up on each other. These topics are connected. Trust me. The way you've learned about cells, right now you now know the functions of each organelle. You know what happens in the chloroplast, you know what happens in the vacuole. Now you're going to learn about osmosis, diffusion, and active transport. these are the methods of movements, okay, or modes of movements. So water moves by the process of what? Osmosis. Diffusion, particles are moved by the process of diffusion. All right, so earlier when I was starting this live class, I mentioned that I'll talk about materials. So every week I'll be sharing materials that I have, and they'll be shared to you at a giveaway price. Okay, so right now I've got an examiner's mind pamphlet, and I'm giving it to you at only 20 kwacha tonight. If you need that examiner's mind, I'll share the screenshot of the book. You can reach out to me and get it at only 20 kwacha. This book will help you in terms of questions. The questions that are coming from that book, they are coming from past papers. And if you need this book, you should reach out to me and you'll be able to get it. It's only going to be 20 kwacha. Yeah, next week there'll be another book that I'm going to share, but this one, I believe it will help you. So the 20 kwacha will cover for the examiner's mind pamphlet. This is volume 1. Okay, that's the pamphlet that I'm going that will be on sale this week. And then there's another thing that I want to introduce in the group, which is Student Spotlight Day. On this day, I will be awarding a student who participates in assignments as well as live classes. Because when I'm marking, I see. So those students who are going to be neat, those students who are going to be submitting work every time and they are getting 100%, I will be awarding them. So there'll be a day for that, Student Spotlight Day, just to make them feel special for the efforts that they're making. I know being a student, especially an online student, it is something that requires a lot of discipline. Because right now you can be on TikTok, but you've decided to be part of this live class. And trust me, these are the efforts that will help you make it in your academics next year. These are the efforts. You also need to invest your time. And I like the fact that you invested just 1 hour to be on this live class and you've learned something. At least you've gained knowledge. It's very important to invest. Most of us, we just want things to be given to us. We do not want to put in our best. We do not want to put in our effort. And that's a bad mindset. You have to invest. You have to invest your time. Okay. Invest your time in your academics. That way you will reap the results that you want. Okay. Otherwise, tonight there's a pamphlet, 20 kwacha. Get it. It's just 20 kwacha. Get it. It will help you. Examiner's mind. Instead of buying bundles, buy a pamphlet. It's about 100 and something pages. It's a giveaway price. Or if you feel uh, you do not like having materials on your phone, you can go in Bookworld. You'll find it. It should be, I'm sure it's still there. It should be there. I got mine in Bookworld. And what I did is I just converted it into a soft copy. You can go in Bookworld or Bookheart if you can't have a soft copy. But again, the same soft copy that you're going to get, you can print it out and then you'll be able to have it as hard copy. Otherwise, get the material and it will help you. It should be 120 something pages, Elena. Yeah, but it will really help you, the examiner's mind. The good part with this book is that there are questions and then there are answers with an explanation. So it won't just give you an answer, but it will also explain. There is some background knowledge that is given with the questions. Yeah. So how many are going to get the pamphlet? Ni wangapi wamene vatenga pamphlet tonight after this live class? Okay. Mary, it's 20 kwacha. And then if you want to print it out, that's why if you want to print it out, I have to just double check with the number of pages. Yeah. But it's 20 kwacha. So soft copy, it's a soft copy, meaning I will send it to you as a PDF. And then you can, if you want to have it hard copy, you can now go at any copy. If you are far, you can, like, if this is a soft copy, so meaning you have to go at a computer shop, and then they will do the printing for you. Otherwise, it will help you. It will really help you. Okay, it will really, really help you. I'll share the what's this, the cover page. So that I've got one volume which is the same examiner's mind. So this is just a giveaway price. Yeah. All right. So, and then there's something that I wanted to talk about, which is academic workshop. I have to make a presentation. We need to have an academic workshop. Academic workshops are very important, because one thing that I've realized is that, what if you already have it? Then that's okay. That's okay, Pete. That's okay. Yeah. One thing that I've realized is that most GCE students, they struggle with self-belief. Because they failed before, they think they can't do it, and they can't change their academic story. And one thing you need to understand is that there are a lot of things that are involved when it comes to passing. You need to know how to manage your time. You need to know how to study biology. You need to know how to make a study timetable. And that is why we'll be having these academic workshops. Unfortunately, this week, we didn't have one, but I'm preparing for one. We need to have an academic workshop as soon as possible, because already, even how we present our work, I pay attention to details. How you write. If you don't follow rules, I will give you rules, right? But if you don't follow them, I will know to say, okay, already there's a problem here. We need to deal with this problem. So that is why we need to have academic workshops. I want, by the time you're going to write your exams, you're baked. You're baked. So for those that would get the pamphlet, reach out to me, and then I'll share the pamphlet. All right, my excellent students, thank you very much for joining. You would have been somewhere else, but you decided to be part of this live class. I really appreciate your time. Have a good night.